Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel or my podcast. This is Tracy Malone from narcissistabusesupport.com. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't yet visited my website, narcissistabusesupport.com, we've got lots of great resources to help you along the way. Today, my topic and the audience that I'm speaking with is divorcing a narcissist. Divorcing a narcissist is by far one of the hardest things people will go through. I've rarely seen one that was not horrific. But again, why, if they were being pretty good and they didn't need a divorce coach, then that makes sense, right? So there's probably a lot more out there. But one of the worst things I see is when you're divorcing a narcissist and you're forced to stay in the same home. Either you can't afford to move out, have two places, or the narcissist just puts their heels in and says, I'm not leaving, just to give you a little added bonus of torture because you're under the same roof, right? It's a whole nother level of psychological warfare because the things that they can do when they're in the house with you, uh, sort of it comes into so many different categories, right? So the emotional abuse always escalates because they are, going to start to blame shift. They're going to give you silent treatments. They're going to get more angry. And the reason they're doing this while you're in the house is really to keep you off balance, trigger reactions, and build the narrative of them being the victim, right? That's the first step. If they can start to document what you're saying and you're saying things, they're going to use it against you. This is intentional. By being there and poking you every day, you're going to react. And then they often record you and then use it in court to go, see how angry she is, see what he does, right? So intentionally pissing you off in the house and then getting you in trouble. So, what do we do when this is happening in the house? We have to document everything. If you live in a state where you can record and they are hostile at least and worse, then get that. Record that so that you have the evidence to either combat what they're saying and protect yourself, or if you think about it, I've seen so many times where the narcissist records you. My narcissist did it, right? So they record you and then they edit it. They take out parts and make you look worse, right? But if you are also recording it, it's just protection. Like if they switch something around or call the police and say you were the angry one, and they bring that into court to show, hey, here's the clip of Tracy yelling like a crazy person. If you had the original recording, you would be able to go, here's Tracy getting angry for that 30 seconds, but here's the hour of badgering that happened. And this is why I snapped, right? That's your evidence, right? You can build your own evidence, right? If you can record, that's important. If things get heated in the house, call the police. If you feel like you are not safe, put a lock on a room and make it yours. That means keep all of your stuff in that room. Narcissists are like surveillance and stalking experts. I don't know if they read a book on it, but they very often break into computers. There's something called keyloggers, which are software that you don't even know it's on there. And then all of a sudden, every time you touch a key, it's popping up on their screen, what you're writing to your lawyer, to your friends, to your mother. So they plant cameras and they are just trying to get intel. So when you're living with them, you have to expect those things. So protecting yourself against that is that recording that you can show as evidence if you're allowed to record. In domestic violence situations in most states, even if you're not allowed to record, but you feel threatened, you can admit that kind of evidence into court, even if you're not allowed to record. Again, check your state. But if you record them out of, I'm fearful for my life, and then something happens, I'm not saying for your life, but they get, angry and yelling and that sort of thing. you're showing, here's why I needed it. This is what happens all the time. And if it's a domestic violence situation, they generally listen and will take those as evidence. So do it and ask for forgiveness later because this is your safety and this is what's important. Another thing that they do, sorry, um, is you're going to feel like you're walking on eggshells in your house the whole time. You're going to be waiting for the next like blow up. You're going to be waiting to feel safe, right? You're a stranger in your own house. They might be doing things like making a mess and leaving it all there and not participating in emptying the dishwasher or loading the dishwasher or doing any household things. So you're going to have a bigger burden, right? But when it comes to the eggshells, it's really important for you to have your own space, like I said, or your own room, even if you're in the same house. If you can get noise canceling headphones, if you can install a lock on your door and stick to a schedule if you can of when you're going to interact with them. If they are constantly, hoovering around you like a sick animal waiting to pounce, then set a boundary. I don't like it when you do that. Please don't do that. Then go and put it into your text exchange to the ex or soon to be ex who's upstairs and say, listen, I'm sick of you stalking me. Please stop. I'm asking you to stop chasing me around the house. This is not productive. But now what you're doing is you're building evidence. Evidence is key here. And the best way to do it, if you can't record, or if you do record and then put it in writing, now you're saying, hey, I told you don't do this, and they keep on doing it. Then we put another email or text in and go, hey, listen, I told you not to do this, and you keep on doing it. I need you to stop. And then they don't. Now we're showing a pattern for the judge or anybody else that might look at it, like the police, if they get called in, to go, I've been trying to get them to stop, but they won't, right? So expect that and protect yourself with that. Get your own space, keep your stuff locked up. And I am talking bolts on the door with a lock, whatever you got to do to keep it safe because they snoop and they're trying to get evidence on you, and that's never good. So, the other thing that we have to think about is the kids. If the kids are in the house at the same time and they start the bad mouthing, which is like intended to turn the kids against you, right? But if you're in the house and they start to do that in front of the kids, you have to stay calm, but you document it. You put it into that email or text chain and you send it to your lawyer. Again, if you can record evidence of that they're saying, and you hear them say things to the kids that are inappropriate, right? What's important when the kids are in the house is that you model healthy emotional regulation and be really open to talking with the kids because this is going to freak them out too. It does. I'm not saying I know how hostile it will get, but I've seen situations and it is not pretty, right? So if the kids are being affected, we put that in text as well. And we say, I think the kids need to go to therapy. And you ask to go to therapy. And if your ex refuses to let them go to therapy, which is a pretty common thing, narcissists don't want the kids getting smarter to understand what's happening. And so they generally just go, nope. I don't want my kids in therapy. It's a reflection of them. Remember, to a narcissist, the child is a reflection of them. And so if there's something wrong with their child, A, it's got to be your fault, but B, it can't be my child. But if they say no to therapy, when you have just sent 5 texts going, the kids are really upset. Did you see they flunked a test? Did you see they were late to school? They couldn't get up. This is affecting them. Please, we need a therapist. And then they keep on refusing. If you take that evidence and those text chains into a courtroom, and say, Judge, they won't let me take the kids to a therapist. The judges hate that. And you've got the evidence now. You've got a paper trail saying, look, here's the confirmation. And you know what can happen with that? A really good thing is if they refuse therapy, and again, not every state, not every judge, but if they refuse therapy and the judge gets upset with them, this could change things greatly because you could end up with medical last final decision making because they will not allow the things your kids need. That's perfect evidence to say why you need medical power. So think about that, right? What, what else? Financially, when you're in the same house, you'd think, oh, okay, we're safe. But no, they tend to lock everyone out of the accounts, and things are gonna mysteriously disappear in the house, in the financial realm, in retirement accounts. So first thing, even though you're in there, is to open up your own account and protect your credit and keep track of all the expenses and financial things, especially if they're not paying. Because again, a paper trail to show how uncooperative they are, even though you're still in the same house, helps you get more later to show their cruelty. And people have to understand that the judge is looking for patterns, right? If you are displaying patterns of them financially damaging you and doing all of these tactics and strategies of financial ruin, then we show the judge that. We show that they will not give you any money for gas to take the kids to school, or they won't give you the $25 for the teacher present, or whatever. You're showing the judge their uncooperativeness, and this is good. When you're in the house, you have to remember too, if it's your decision to divorce, they might try the whole love bombing thing again. It's not that they love bomb you. It's not that they love you when they love bomb. It's that they don't want to lose half their stuff and they want it all. So if they can just do the tactic that they've pulled before, which is to love bomb you and promise it'll get better, be careful of that, because that happens a lot. Now, it's mixed with the crazy, so I don't think it's going to be all flowers and frosting. It's going to be quite tenuous, but at the same time, that intermittent reinforcement catches you off guard. You think they're nice, and then the next time they're cruel. So always keep that in mind. It's fake. When you live with a narcissist and you're getting a divorce, yikes, it is horrible, as I've said. So protect yourself, protect your stuff, protect your kids, and document the heck out of this, because I'd like to say they're going to be nice, but I don't think they're going to be, not even a little. It's cruel, and they're doing it on purpose. And again, maybe you can't afford two places, get it, but be kind when you're in the house. And if they're not, let's show the courts, because this is your future. And you could say, Judge, look, this is uncooperative. Look, they don't do this. Look, use it for gathering evidence and data, and be really mindful that they are, in fact, gathering evidence and data on you. So don't lose your cool, walk away if they get excited and try to poke you into reaction, and then document everything that you can. So this is Tracy Malone. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you are looking for help, my divorce book, where is it? Talking about divorce, and I forgot it. Divorcing Your Narcissist. You can't make this shit up. And you guys know things that you've seen, you can't. So what a good name. I love that name. And I have a button. See you guys next time. Thank you.